So I wanted to ask that uh, between he asked me and he told me, like, should we use accusative for both, like, or one is which one is dative? And like I'm confused between the two of them. He told me maybe a fractemish or a fractemi. I don't really know between the two
Then
of them.
to fragen. Fragen ist ein Akkusativ verb. So if I say I'm asking you to come, ich frage dich, not ich frage dir. But sagen ist Dativ verb. Ist first Dativ verb. Sagen. Klar?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I want to say accusative, but like we ask directly, okay? I'm coming now. I said, yeah, they are. Ja, so Fragen. Also Fragen, ich frage dich nicht, ich frage dir. Also er fragt dich, this is that someone is asking, so you have to use ob for that, yeah. Er fragt dich, ob du kommst. Yeah, he's asking if you come. Ob du kommen, sorry, hold on. Kommen wirst, yeah. So these two Loki, they carry matter. So if you say you can't use Zagan with two, because normally it would be like maybe he he told me to come. Okay? No, I told I'm sorry. she told me to come. We'll try to convert it to German. Today, a lot of exercise, so please be still, okay? He told me to come, just try. So here, sorry, you see, sagte mir das. You don't use to kommen because he said something, but the coming will be performed by me. So it's sagte mir, dass ich kommen soll. Yeah, he told me that I should come. So in German, when you're using sagen, normally we use sollen because he told you to do something, but the person can't force you. But then he said he suggested. In German, like German translated as under suggestion, the person is suggesting to you to come. Okay, or you can just say, Sie sagte mir, dass ich komme. Like kommen soll. When you say, dass ich komme, it's like he told me that I come. No, so we use sollen, okay? We use sollen. This is kind of uh, yeah, this kind of, yeah. If someone is telling you to do something, then we use sollen. Okay, but we use das. We don't directly say maybe he told me to buy, in English is together, he told me to buy the cake. In German, sagen, you can't say er sagte mir den Kuchen kaufen. Das ist falsch, okay? Because the thing he's saying, he told me, okay, to buy. So the buying will be performed by a different subject. So we need the das. Just like I want you to come, es will das du kommen. Du kommst, okay? Yeah. So it's the same thing with to tell. But to tell, we use sollen to be, so it will sound like a suggestion. The person is suggesting and the person is not forcing you to do it. Okay, so the right one will be, we'll try. Ja, sagte mir, dass ich den Kuchen kaufen soll. Okay, he told me that I should. Okay, we use when you are just when you sagen like reporting a speech, so not necessarily reporting a speech, but you're just giving like what happened. So he told me to do this because my boss told me to sign the the form. Form is das Formular. That's Formular. So it will be what? My chef. Mhm.
Sagte mir, dass ich das Formular ausfüllen
This is
soll.
sign. Sign, not fill.
Oh, okay. So what is sign?
Unterschreiben.
Unterschreiben.
To
So,
write under. Write under. Unterschreiben. So I told you to To jump over the wall will be, the wall is the Wand. Und jumpen is springen, springen. So springen.
I told who?
I told you.
Ich sagte dir, dass du die Wand, wieso der Jump ist?
Spring, like spring, English spring, like meow, 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 so springen.
Springst
But the over hasn't
über,
come.
über die Wand springen sollst.
Yeah, so yeah. So that's how we use so then. And Fragen, okay? Fragen, we use Fragen to ask questions. So he asked me if, okay, but if you want to say in English, like the person asked you to do this, just like sagen, we use bitten. Okay. Fragen is when the baby, he asked me how old I am. He asked me if I will show up to the party. He asked me if, so the Fragen is when you want to, like, it's a question. Necessarily, like, it's always a question. Like, he asked me if, like, something is, like, person is not sure of something, the person is asking me. That's when we use a Fragen. But if you want to say, like, he asked me to do something, just like the Sagen, in German, we use bitten. Okay, und auffordern. Klar? So when you use this bitten, that's when you can use your two auffordern, so you can use your two. Okay, and they are both direct, like just like Fragen. Okay. So the tennis thing to request. Both of them are to request to request, but auffordern is more formal. So like maybe the person came here and he asked me to call the boss. Okay. Instead of saying he told me to call the boss, I want to say he asked me to call the boss, then use auffordern. So example, so bitten is from bitter, okay? From bitter, please. Okay. So he asked me, don't forget current. Uh so he asked me to come. But the person like asked you to do this, okay? So that's when you can use the bitten. So yeah, bittet mesh. And you can use your so common. Okay, but Fragen und Sagen you can't use to. You can't use zu with Fragen and Sagen. Sagen, we use das, and if the person asks you to do something, then you use should. He told me that I should come. So it wouldn't sound like the person pushed you to do something. Okay, that like in the German ears. Just remember that if you're saying that he told me to do something, you have to use sollen that plus das, okay, because the action will be performed by someone else. So with Fragen too, notice we only use Fragen Maybe he asks me how old I am. He asks me if I will make up, like if the person is actually asking a question, but if the person is asking you to like do something, that's when we use what bitten on our foreign. So he asked me to get the boss, maybe the kunden. So let me say the customer asked me to get the boss will be use our foreign.
The customer is the kunde,
It
right?
can be feminine or masculine, depends on how you want to use it.
Okay. The kunde,
D. Are you saying, did you say D or DR?
the kunde.
The kunde is plural.
I
Okay.
thought you said feminine. Okay,
So
the
if
kunde.
feminine will be kunden.
Okay, okay.
So it's der Kunde slash Kunden. Klar?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the female customer asked me to get a boss be
At Miss Alfreden.
aufgefordert. A separable verb. So your game must come.
Oh,
Aufgefordert.
Sue, the chef order.
So the Kunden yesterday, I made this clarification that in English asked me to. Yeah. Okay. So these are two separate. They are two separate verbs. And the first verb is what? It's not the first verb is not a modal verb, which means you can't use them together. So immediately you see such sentence when there are two verbs in the sentence. Here we have ask, to ask, and what, to get. They are two separate verbs, and the first verb is not a modal verb, so it means you can't use them together. So in this sentence, you have to use infinitive with to. Good. Once you make that clarification, the next thing is to know that here the second verb is to get. Who am I getting? The boss, which means the boss is going to like will be the direct object for what this second verb, which will be used with the infinitive with to. So the Kunden hat mich aufgefordert, den Chef zu holen. Because okay, I, he told me, okay, and like in the normal sense, who is going to get the chef? I. So it's just like saying it's holy then chef. So someone is performing the action, that's you. So it's holy then chef. Okay. Imam infinity with two, whether on two or with just two. Your second verb, just know that automatically whichever object that follows the second verb will be in the accusative form. Because it's just like it's assumed like the subject, you are going to get it. So you have already been mentioned, but the person you are getting is different from who you are. So like accusative is when the subject and the what object are different. So automatically this is an object. So it has to be what accusative. Klar.
Yeah.
So the making is we have Fragen and Sagen, okay? And um Fragen is accusative. You say it's Fragedish. I'm asking you, it's Fragedish. So you'd be like, ich frage dich, wie alt du bist. I'm asking you how old you are. So normally in English, fragen, asking is used differently because in English you'd be like, oh, he asked me to do this. He asked me to do this. So that it would be like you didn't do it from your own will or like you were pushed to do something. Okay. But in German, we don't use this fragen. It's basically for asking questions. We don't use it like that. So if you want to say someone asked you to do something that you want to say that it wasn't from your own will, then we use bitten. Bitten on aufworden. Aufworden is formal. You can choose to use it even in like normal conversation, but normally you hear more bitten in daily conversation. But in the formal sector, maybe you'll be like, you want to say, I'm asking, like you want to tell the secretary that you are asking him or her to do something, then you have to use aufworden. Okay. Because I said fragen is basically to ask questions. La, or should I go back? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so me say, okay, so we have fragen and sagen. Fragen means to ask, sagen means to say. So I'm going to talk about fragen. Fragen means to ask. Yeah. So if we in English you either say, oh, like we have one ask in English. Okay, so either someone is asking you to do something, or you are asking a question. You use what ask, the same ask. But in German, when it's about asking a question, we use fragen. Okay, but when you want to say that someone asked you to do something, then you have to use bitten or the aufworden. So this fragen is when the person asked you a question. So maybe he asked me if the boss is there. Okay, it's a yes or no question. That's when you use the fragen. So er fragte mich, ob der Chef da ist. Okay, he asked me if there is water in the fridge. That's when you use er fragte mich, ob es Wasser im Kühlschrank gibt. Okay, like that's when like yes or no questions. That's when you use the fragen. But then if you want to say it you want to use ask in English, just like someone asking you to do something. Like he asked me to do something, then you have to use bitten or aufworden. And when you use it this way, then you can use in finishing with to. So he asked me to pray. Will be what? He betete, yeah, yeah. Oh, ne, yeah, yeah, betete past tense, or he hat mich gebeten, yeah. Yeah, betete mich to beten. To pray is also beten, but it's not bitten, it's beten, Beten. Yeah. Then you have to, like, someone asked you to do something. That's when you have to use what? Bitten or aufworden. But fragen is when the person is the person asked you of a question. This is simple.
Okay. Yeah,
So
yeah,
ihr
yeah.
fragt, ihr fragt mich, ob Ihr Chef da ist. Okay. So he asked the teacher when we um want to submit the homework. Okay, so we'll try to the sentence. He asked the teacher when to submit the homework. or when we are to submit the homework. But when to submit the homework, when no one is mentioned, that's when you have to use man. When one is to submit the homework. Yeah, Karen, let's go.
If Frak den leren.
Yeah, facts was.
Den le
Why are you
dem
saying them?
leren.
Why are you
I
saying
said
using them? Why are you saying them?
I said then, no. I said then.
I
Then.
said den leren.
Okay, I hear them. Now my
Oh,
ear they do me kuchi kuchi.
I said den
Yeah.
leren.
Mhm.
Op
When
van
then. Then.
ven
Then.
ven
Yeah.
one.
die
When you say then, okay.
houseopgave. Okay. Die houseopgave.
Mhm.
Zu ausgeben oder ausgeben. Abgeben.
When one previous most or all, when one should submit the homework or when one has to submit it or when to submit the homework. Okay. Or just in fact when one is submitting the homework, when one gibt. Klar?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we use Fragen for yes or no questions, or like when you have to use the other W questions, how, V, what. Okay, that's when you use Fragen. Okay, but then
Now
if
already
someone is
when no,
asking,
I don't know when you to then no. And I thought say then
no,
no
no, this
epushi a no
you've,
equal
you've,
not so no.
you've now we've done indirect indirect questions with the W questions. The last two lessons now you weren't around. We practice a lot, plenty examples. Here they are lined up here. He asked me when I should come. When you use them, van, the main verb will go to the end. He asked me what I should, what was is anti and zol. He asked me if I'm coming. Yeah, really different. There's no verb comment. Yeah, who is coming? He asked me which drink I should bring. He fragte welches Getränk ich mitbringen soll. So they are in when the W questions are used indirectly, like indirectly, then the main verb will go to the end of the sentence. You have to
Okay.
visit the previous lessons.
Okay.
But then if you want to say someone is asking you to do something, that's when you have to use bitten. Okay. If he asks me for, then we want to say to ask for would be what bitten. Want to yeah. Maybe he asked me for a favor. He asked me for a favor. That's when the term being asked is mentioned. Then you have to use because he didn't just say he asked me to do something. He said he asked me for a favor. So favor is there, gefallen for favor. Favor is there, gefallen. So we'll try. Mhm. He asked me for a favor, and I'm saying if you want to mention, you want to say he bitten with for. We use to introduce the thing which is being asked for. Yeah, bitted Ja, ich hat mich gebeten, ja, er bittete mich um einen Gefallen. We said is an accusative preposition, so der Gefallen is masculine. Simply asking for it. Er bittete mich ja, past tense. Klar? Yeah, und sagen. With sagen, I'm saying that in English, if we can't in English, you'd be like, hey, he told me to. But first, Abi, you understand why we in English we say that he told me, but German we say sagen. To tell in German is a telling, and we said a telling is rarely used unless maybe you are going to narrate a story or narrate a report. That's when I'm telling you of my wedding. I'm telling you of what happened. That's when we use a telling. So now in Germany, whether tell or say, we use sagen. Okay, yeah, that is already gone. Next thing is that sagen in English, you want to say someone said you should do something, someone told you to do something. Okay, in German, first it follows the normal first there are two subjects here. Whenever you want to say someone asks you to do something, so just like using the modal verb, someone wants you to do something. Someone said you should do something. So someone did the action of saying, but the thing which needs to be done have to be performed by a different person. The person who asked can't, like, it's not the same subject for the next sentence. So immediately you use sagen, like someone is asking someone to do something else, then you have to use das. Because we said that with modal verbs, even with modal verbs, I want you to come here. The first sentence, is someone wanting something. That is I. Okay, I want something. But what I want, who will have to perform that action? You. Okay, so there are two different subjects in two different sentences. You can't say it's real dish suko. It's real dish. We don't even use modal verbs with su. Modal verbs is once the modal verb, then the second verb will go to the end of the sentence unconjugated, just like it's real common, klar. But once in this sentence, I want something. What I want is that you come, which means you will be what performing the action of coming, not me. Which means we have to have a main sentence and enabling that, because two subjects can't stay in a single sentence. In the main sentence, we can't have two subjects in one sentence. So my FAQ. You can't have two subjects. Two kings can't stay under the same kingdom. Okay, so then we have to use naming that. And German says for such sentence we use das to form a conjunction. That's so in English you can also say he told me that I should come. Okay, so even in English you can have a main sentence and a subordinate clause by just using sagen. That's the format Germans use. Because what I want, what is being ordered to be done will be performed by a different person. So you can't say, I want you to eat. I want something, but you will be performing the eating. So I can't say a veal dish essen. Immediately I say a veal dish essen, it means what I want to eat you. That is false. So Germans say that when such sentences, what we want to be done, and the action to be done will be performed by someone else. Then we use das. Okay, so what ich will or ich möchte. Okay, then das du kommst. Okay, yeah. So it's the same thing with sagen. He told me to eat. He said he performed the first action of saying. Okay, he said it. Okay, that's the first verb and the first subject. He said it. But to eat, who is going to he is saying that then he's not going to eat it. Like he won't be the person to eat it, to perform the action. I will be the person performing. So then automatically we are going to use what that does. With sagen. He asked me to do something. Like he told me to do something. Yeah. So that's when you have to use das, just like modal verbs, because what the person told you to do was actually done by someone else. Could be you, it could be a different person. So we say the teacher told us to submit our homework. Okay, so in how many verbs do we have? We have told, to tell, and we have to submit here. Okay, so in this sentence, the teacher told us something. Like the teacher wants something to be done. He told us to do the thing, but the teacher is not that same subject who is going to perform it, that action of submitting. Because the teacher can't like order us to do something and at the same time submit the homework himself. That means a different person or the whole class, like a different group, is to perform the action of what? The submission. So that means we have two subjects performing different actions. Okay, so the letter, who will try?
Der Lehrer hat uns gesagt, dass wir unsere Hausaufgaben ab abgeben sollen.
Yeah, okay, been stolen. Klar. So he told us to meet early in the morning. Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah. The network in the air. Yeah, so this sentence, let's go. He told us to meet early in the morning.
hat uns gesagt, dass
Yeah.
wir uns früher am Morgen treffen wo wollen oder sollen. Für
These treffen, yeah.
yeah, sollen.
Yeah. So that's wir uns früh am Morgen. That's a snitch, like it's not grammatically wrong, okay? But then it's very probably rather say we use the yeah, morgen früh or the frühen Morgen. Okay. Morgen früh and that's wir uns morgen früh. Okay. Like just say tomorrow early. Okay. Or you can use the früh to describe morgen and be like the morgen would be like in the accusative form. The morgen would be what? Frühen Morgen. Early tomorrow. Klar?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's knock. What's knock? How should we discuss further? So this Fragen und Sagen was from Karen, who also has something that the person wished that we talk about it. Like this Fragen and Sagen, Krum has a oh, ihr sagte mir zu kommen. Ihr sagte mir, like immigrants know it's tofra. Boom, 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 boom. They understand. Okay, they understand. But then if you get this concept, that's Fragen is directly with the W questions or when something is being asked. Okay. But then if you are asked to do something, then we use bitten. He requested me. Okay, either out for them or bitten. Okay, bitten on out for them out both like you have he acts just like fragging, yeah, frag them. He's fragging, he's asking me, yeah, directly with dash 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 or like accusative. Okay, yeah. Personal pronouns and their cases. Klar. Yeah. So yeah, it's first there. But I don't think the problem is with the pronouns itself. The problem will be with the verbs. Knowing that these verbs requires you have to use maybe I love you and you'll be like dia or dish. Yeah. But then for nominative, okay. Nominative, we know pronouns in nominative already. Possessive pronouns or which one? Okay, yeah, I'll talk about all of them. So the pronouns in nominative are one more class on that. Hey, ish,
Ich, du, er, wir,
you,
wir,
yeah, yeah.
er, sie, organisieren.
So this is when nominative says when nominative is the subject. So if I am performing something, it should you are performing an activity is do. You are the subject. When he, she, it is the subject. Yes, yes. When we are the subject, we are doing this is via. When you guys are doing the action, is what here. When Z or the Z, they or former you. Breaking this. Almost like you screen this. Okay, yeah. So this is pronouns, personal pronouns in nominative, in accusative. Aku, aku is when the pronouns are the direct objects. Okay, so there is a different subject, and the pronoun is the direct objects. Okay, so for example, I see you. This time you are not seeing me, but I see you. Okay, so I see you, or maybe like sorry, you see me first. See, sounds more confusing. But like, okay, so let's say for this one is I see you. I am the subject. I see you. You see me. Okay. He, she, it sees me. So it should we do but this time around, different people, different subjects like sees me will be what. So maybe the people see me will be what Deloitte Zayed Mish. Okay, because this time I am the direct object. Okay. Then I love you. I love you. Okay, you are the direct object here. So what is liebe dich? Yeah. Okay. Then he loves her. So her, like like, I see him will be so ear for ear will be what in. I see him is in. Okay. I see her will remain Z, and I see it will remain what S. Okay. So they see us when they see us as uns. They see us as uns, and we see you guys as oish. I'm saying oich, oish. You know, ideally supposed to be oich, but like I said, even with there are always exceptions. But there are some dialect, even not dialect. I even have say I've met people who say oik, oik, even duok instead of doish. They say duok. You know, so you got that. So when all these are z, okay, in accusative, if I see them, what is there z, and I see Mr. Hermula, I see you. If I'm telling Hermula that I see him, I say you in the former sector, you, what is there z Hermula? Klar, good. That's what's accusative. But with dative, is when we have an indirect object. Like when these pronouns becomes the indirect objects. Okay, that means the sentence will first have what? A subject, a direct object, and an indirect object. That's when these pronouns, the pronominal, like the H2 become the indirect object. That's the dative case. So the commonest example that we always use in teaching is I give the man an apple, or I give, like he is giving me. Okay, so even in English, like he sees me, I give so yeah, me. But in German, we have different meaning for accusative and dative. Okay, so when I am the indirect object, that means the sentence will have a main subject, a verb, a direct object, and when these pronouns finds themselves to be the indirect object, that's when they also change from h mesh to another what case, which is the dative. So the man is giving me an apple. In this sentence, the man is the subject. The man is performing the action of giving. And what is the man? The man giving out an apple. And who is the beneficiary? I. So if it's to me, then it's me. Okay. When the man is giving you an apple. Okay. So our main subject is still the man. The verb is the action is what? To give, giving, then Sprachverfasser. So the man is giving you the apple, but the man is giving the apple to you. Okay, so like you are benefiting from the action, and you are that makes you the indirect object. Okay, the action is not performed directly on you, but the action is performed to you. You are receiving. Klar?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so the man is giving him an apple. The man gives him.
Yeah.
Okay, and the man is giving her the apple. Be what the man gives ear.
Yeah.
If the man is giving it, maybe the man is giving the dog a bone. So, like you would call a dog it in English, he's giving it, or maybe he's giving the baby. The even baby is it. Yeah. Oh, yeah, blah, blah. Yeah, so the man is giving the dog it a bone. Okay, so the it will change to it's and in will be the same thing for ear on S. In. Okay. Yeah. S on ear is the same thing. Okay. When the man is giving us an apple, we are benefiting from the action of giving out the direct object, what is the apple, but we are receiving it, we are benefiting from the action. So then we are the indirect objects. It's still us. Okay. Really additional feelings. The, the man is giving you guys a seat, is offering you guys a seat. Or maybe like the boss is offering you guys a seat. Okay. The boss is performing the action of what? Offering. Okay. And the boss is offering, is performing the action of offering on what? A seat. And who is benefiting from the seat? You guys. Okay. So you guys will what? Still what? Oish. Ah, yeah. Then the I gave them a ball. I perform the action of giving the direct objects. Okay, the subject, the action of giving was performed on is the ball. But who is the beneficiary here? Them. Is giving them will be what? In. Okay, and Hermula, I'm giving you a pen. My power, I will give my pen back. So Hermula, I'm giving you a pen. It's given in. Okay, capital H, capital I, then okay. Ihnen einen Stift oder einen Kugelschreiber. Klar? Yeah. So unless in the sentence there is a subject, a verb, a direct object, which means an object receiving the action directly, plus a beneficiary, then all sentences has like that means like you have to always stick to what? Accusative, unless there is a beneficiary in the sentence. Okay, and you only use these dative prepositions to unless the verb is strictly a dative preposition. So if the verb is not a dative verb, unless the verb is strictly a dative verb, if the verb is not a direct, like if the verb doesn't require us to use the dative case, they are fixed dative verbs. Examples are helfen, sagen. Okay, plenty. Okay, unless you have to use such verbs, then always you have to use accusative. So one, unless the sentence contains what? An indirect object, as in a beneficiary, or the subject, the sentence is the sentence, like the verb used in the sentence requires a fixed dative verb, then you are to stick with accusative. So I mean, I always say there's no verb. Yeah, we don't have fixed accusative verbs. We just assume that once there's no beneficiary and the verb is not a fixed what dative verb, then automatically we will use the dative case. Klar?
Yeah.
Yeah. On genitive, then we're talking about it and mudra. But then we are going to possessive pronouns. Okay. In English, possessive pronouns are what? My,
Yours.
mhm. What belongs to you is yours. Mhm.
His. His. Its.
Mm-hmm.
You all. You. Theirs.
Yeah. So in nominative, mine is mine. Yours is thine. His, her, his is what? Sein. His book will be sein Buch. Liegt auf dem Tisch. Okay. Dann, her Buch will be what? Ihr Buch liegt auf dem Tisch. Okay. Then, its tail. Its tail is another, it's the tail, the amount of tail I get it. It's not, it's the we use in the previous. Uh, it's what?
No, it was I. Oh.
Nah, it's Zine. I know it's Zine, but I'm just saying in English, it's, for example, it's maybe the phone, and you want to say the phone's charger. So its charger is also Zine. So sein Kabel oder sein Aufladen Gerät liegt auf dem Tisch. Like as in the phone's charger is, yeah, klar. Dann our, we got unser. So our book is on the table. What unser Buch? Our mother is coming with what unsere Mutter. Okay, our father will be what unser Vater. Der am Himmel wohnt. Our Father who lives in heaven. Yeah, and you guys know what Oya for Oya. Then DS will be what Ire or ear, depending on the case. As ear, depending on the gender. Then your will also be what capital ear. So these are the preposition, the possessive pronouns, like on, like with no gender cases. So if it's masculine, then what my father. If it's feminine, what meine Mutter. It's accusative. Sorry, if it's neuter, then we what mein Handy in nominative. Let me write it this way to be. So masculine, feminine, masculine, feminine, neuter, und plural. Masculine, feminine, neuter, plural. So gleich here will be also what his father will be dein Vater, his mother will be what deine Mutter. Then his phone, your phone will be what? Sorry, your phone will be what? Dein Handy. Our our books will be what? You guys, your book will be deine Bücher. Mm, so I don't know how to separate it. Sein, seine. Sein, seine. So her father will be ihr Vater. Her mother will be what? Ihre Mutter. Her phone will be what? Ihr Handy. Then bottles will be what? Ihre Flasche. Yeah, flashing. Sorry, flashing. Yeah. Ja, klar. And then it's so it's is same as sein. What? Sein, seine, sein, seine. Then our father is what? Unser Vater. Our mother will be what? Unsere Mutter. Then unser Buch und unsere Bücher. Then you guys will be what? Schau mal, euer ist anders. Euer, you guys, your father is what? Euer Vater. You guys, your mother, what? Eure Mutter. So the he and R will change position to have, we can't add another E to it. I mean, oire. Nah, that's too much. So just oire Mutter. Then you guys, your car will what? Euer Auto, back to masculine neuter. Then your books is what? Eure Bücher. Bücher. Ja, klar. Then their ball will be what? Ihr Ball. So their ball is on the table. Ihr Ball liegt auf dem Sofa oder ja, egal. Then their mother, what? Ihre Mutter. Okay. Then their phone will be what? Back to ear. And their phones will be what? Ihre Handys. Super. Then for then for former capital to indicate that it's former. So Herr Müller, your father ist krank. Herr Müller, ihr Vater ist krank. Herr Müller, your mother is coming. Herr Müller, ihre Mutter kommt. Herr Müller, your house is nice. Herr Müller, ihr Haus ist schön oder hübsch. Herr Müller, your dododo is dododo, then ihre dododo. Okay, klar, this is dominative. Accusative and accusative only masculine changes. Okay, so it should be what? Meinen. So I see my father. What is there? Meinen Vater. I see my mother. What still is there? Meine Mutter. Because accusative only masculine changes. Okay, so accusative I will only write the masculine because the rest remains the same. Okay. I see your father. You say a dining father. Okay. I have his. I see his son. What is there? Seinen Sohn. Okay. I see her. Was? I see her head. What is there? Ihren Kopf. Okay. I see ihren Kopf. Klar?
Yeah.
Yeah. I see it's I see it's every time people make it sentence and then like you can't. So I see it's masculine. You say as I and masculine. Yeah. I see order. I love our father will be what? Ich liebe unseren Vater. Okay. And accusative only masculine. So they only be masculine. The rest remains the same. Okay. Uh, then you guys, I love your skirts. Okay. Skirt is der Rock. What? Ich liebe euren Rock. ROCK is the skirt. It's masculine. And then a skirt, very masculine. It be German. Okay. Then it's I love their ball. What is liebe ihren Ball. Okay. Then I love Mula. I love your skirts. Frau Mula, I love your skirts. I say capital. Okay. Ihren. Yeah. Klar. Then under dative, all everything changes. Okay. So just like D changes to der for masculine, der changes to dem. So it's my name for feminine with what diner. Okay. D so the same thing, no change, not like not any changes. Yeah. Masculine, feminine, noita, plural. So dative verb. Let's use dative verb. So he is helping my father. What he helped meinem Vater. Okay, meinem Vater. He's helping my mother. Will be what he helped meine Mutter. He's helping my He's helping my baby, but he helped my baby. He's helping the people, but he's helping. Oh yeah, this one. Is anything about one? Oh no. So different dative verb will be different different dative verb.
Gehört.
Plus
Gefallen.
gefallen. I can use gefallen because gefallen is when something pleases me. So unless maybe I want to say the house pleases your father, then that's Haus gefällt deinem Vater. Ja, klar. The house pleases your mother, what? Deiner Mutter, deinem, und dativ plural ist meinen. Ah, ja, ja, ja.
Vertrauen. Okay.
Yeah, genau. We use Vertrauen for the next ones. Then, so you want to say, I trust his father because ich vertraue seinem Vater. Okay. I trust your mother because ich vertraue seiner Mutter. I trust your phone because ich vertraue his seinem Handy. I trust his parents because ich vertraue seinen Eltern. Ja. Mhm. Next verb.
Promise or to promise.
Yeah. Promise is versprechen. Okay. Promise is versprechen. So I am promising her father. What ich verspreche ihrem Vater. Okay. Maybe Makohum Nebusia, then I'm telling the father that I will love her daughter for life. What ich verspreche ihrem Vater. Dass ich seine Tochter for life. Forever is ewig. Ewig is forever. Ewig leben werde. Ja, the future. Leben werde. Klar. So, I'm promising hey, daughter and doctor. I beg you. I'm promising her daughter will be what? Ich verspreche ihrem Tochter. Ihrem Tochter. Klar. I am promising her, yeah, klar, ihrem, her son, yeah. I am promising, yeah, sorry, her baby, yeah, ihrem baby. I'm promising her, her children will be what? Ihren Kindern. Okay, the plural nouns with dative plural nouns. When the plural, when the noun in the plural form has no n, then you add the n to what? The plural form of the noun. It's just like seinem, seiner, seinem, seinen. Then we are congratulating our boss with what? Gratulieren, the stative verb, gratulieren. Okay, so I am congratulating our boss on what? Ich gratuliere unserem chef. I am congratulating our female boss on what? Ich gratuliere unserer Chefin. I am congratulating who again? The baby. Ich gratuliere unserem Baby. Oder unserem Kind, ja, klar. Then unseren is out, Jesus. Unseren. Klar. So next verb, dative verb,
Passen.
passen, passen, passen.
It's
Normally passen is something okay, let's use it. So I'm saying at the back fits you guys, your your dog. The bag fits your dog. Yeah. So the Tasche passt eurem Hund. Okay. The bag fits your dog. Eurem. Okay. Passen is to passen. But it's still correct, but then um let's use raten. Raten means to advise, okay? So I am advising you guys your daughter will be what? Ich rate eure Tochter. I am advising your child, you guys, your child will what? Ich rate eurem Kind. Okay. I am advising you guys, your parents or your family. So what? Euren. Okay.
I give you also.
You said? But it's not difficult. So you're just adding the
Yeah,
endings
yeah,
to it. It's not
sure.
difficult. Just
Yeah.
adding endings.
Oh,
And now is it difficult? It's not difficult. I beg you,
uh,
it's not difficult.
yeah,
Yeah, just
hope I'm
ending
class
adding
one.
endings. Yeah. Just have to use it more to like to get used to it. Yeah. So cloud. Oh dear bell. Will be Irem bal. Okay. So which verb will be next? So uh,
Shadow.
Brood
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
was Schaden. Schaden to damage. But you
Yeah.
can also
I
we
think
have
to harm. Yeah.
Foden super Foden. He's following me. He's following their their what their boss will be chef. Yeah, he's following their dog. And I make a dog also like and I'm speaking dog like daughter like the German doctor. I want to say daughter on doctor at the same time. So, yeah, so he's following their daughter. But he followed ihre Tochter. He's following their car, but he folgt ihrem Auto. Okay, he's following the people here. There are people in English. There are people. There are cars. There are plural. There are cars will be what? Ihren Autos.
Yeah.
Then same thing with Hermula, former sector. Just that you write it in capital. So what? Ihrer, ihrem, ihren.
Iran. Okay.
Ja, klar.
Yeah.
Genetiği ne diye minha boss você
I
then
believe yes, yes, I there like yes, a bit.
Oh yeah, klar, kein Problem. Yeah, so please make screenshot or best you write it down because you take screenshot but you never visit them. So write it down. If you can't, then you take a screenshot when you get home, you write it in your book. Klar? Yeah. So just know that when it's the direct object, then it's what accusative. When it's the subject, then it's what mine, normal. Okay, if I'm talking, the thing I'm talking, the possessive thing, the thing I possess is the subject. Maybe my hund is asleep, is lying on the floor. And what my hund liegt auf dem Boden. Okay. Okay, now, so, but then if my Hund finds itself to be the subject, so I want to say, I love my dog, the object, then we say, I love my dog, then what is liebe meinen Hund. Okay, so if my Hund finds itself to be what? The indirect object, the beneficiary or the indirect object, or in the case that I use a fixed dative verb, then to be at meinem Hund. Example, then my dog being a beneficiary of a sentence will be what? I am giving my dog a bone. What ich gebe meinem Hund Knochen. Okay. Oder einen Knochen. Ja, der Knochen ist the bone. Einen Knochen. So ich gebe meinem Hund einen Knochen. Klar? Genau. This sentence, my dog is the beneficiary. But if I have to use a dative verb, and regardless, when the even if my dog, although my dog will be the direct object, the verb is a dative verb, then I am helping my dog will be what is healthy, meinem Hund. I am helping my mother will be what is healthy, meiner Mutter. I am helping my so and so will be in a Noita will be what meinem so and so. I'm helping plural nouns. I'm congratulating depending on yeah. Yeah. What else? Any other thing you want us to discuss? Hmm? So, Mama Kasano, is everything okay?
Oh,
Sisters
yeah.
and
Yeah.
brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so on Monday we will start chapter 10. We continue chapter 10. Please, if you've missed any lesson, please go back, visit them. Everything is on YouTube. You can visit the Google Drive too. The one I invited you to the Google Drive. You have access to them. But I prefer you use the YouTube because at least the YouTube, no, once the YouTube, when you watch a video up to like if you watch a portion of a video, they indicate it with a red A. So the next time, immediately click on that video, you continue from where you left off. Okay, so like, but anyways, whichever works for you. But the most important thing is that you visit those lessons. Don't think that once you jump into the like the course, the next lecture, everything will be okay. No, like I said, we build on what we learn. Okay, so I beg you, visit those lessons. When this video is ready, I will post it on YouTube as well. So I beg you, visit those lessons and learn. If you have the chance, learn. Okay, when you're walking by the roadside, try to make sentence. If you see a woman jumping into a car, oh, ich sehe eine Frau. Die Frau steigt ins Auto ein. So like use those verbs, else you forget. Okay, like use those verbs. And when you want to make a sentence and you don't know the verb, you don't know the noun, maybe use the mate is insulting the man and you don't know the insults, just use their mate in their if you don't know the mates, their just know their mates, okay? Their mate insult then man. So at least you know that the man here is what accusative. So when you get time, then you search the mate, driver's mates, hey, the Faras big lighter, the far big lighter, okay, far big lighter. Big lighting means to accompany. So it's big lighter means the accompanier. Okay, yeah. So like that's how Germans. Okay, so when you get time, then okay. So the next time when you're using, you remember. Okay, but then if you want to make sentence and you don't know, improvise with the English thing, but make sure that you are sticking to the German structure. So later, when you get to know the German translation for that noun, that verb. You just fit it in there. That's how we learn German. Don't assume that you don't know, so you wouldn't try. Your brain will always tell you, don't do it. Charlie, don't do it. You'll make a mistake. Don't commit. But then let your brain, like immediately you set your mind to do it, the brain will also adjust and be open to accepting new ideas. The brain or a lazy. If your brain is lazy, you need to activate it, and you can only activate it by teaching it something new. Okay, because the brain always feels like Italy 20 day year we get problems. Okay, always bring it forward, like the brain will always like bring important stuff, especially the ones that worries you, bring it like make those one. But then you have to let it know that these things are German is also important to me, so I beg, let's start thinking in German. Okay, then the brain will also set itself to do. Okay, so yeah, tomorrow, like I said, I will travel, but then if I come back home, if I return early, then we'll go over the examination, and I'll project. I can't project so yeah, I'll just copy like the test, the emails, or like the written part, the writing part. I'll just copy the test, but without showing the name, then we correct it together. Okay. Just that if you see that this test belongs to me, you know that the test belongs to you, Claire. Yeah, Claire. But then I want us to do it this way so that others like Obia will learn from each other. Tomorrow is Saturday. You can just organize by 8 a.m. in the morning. Just call the group. Whoever picks up, you do a revision with the person, pattern arbeits, the screenshots that you've been taking. Charlie, let's perform. Let's work on sentences with us, or like let's ask ourselves questions. Where do you come from? Like for A1, okay, for A1, you shouldn't have problem with describing yourself. Okay, you shouldn't at all. If you have problem with describing yourself, where you come from, your favorite food, like form grammatical, constructively correct German, if you have problem with it, then you should just repeat A1. Okay, so I beg you, practice. Okay, practice. Tomorrow too, like everything about the exams, maybe probably not the listening and the hearing, but then the schreiben and expression. But the listening and the hearing is not important to me. Like frankly speaking, it's not important because I feel that once you keep on learning further, like you keep on like learning, expanding your vocabularies, and the listening and the hearing will become better. And as we go through the A2 code, but tomorrow we will tackle the schreiben and expression because and then again very important because with A2 you shouldn't be shy speaking German. I'm not saying you should form long sentence, but you should be able to make short sentence. Grammatically use the accusative. If there's an accusative verb, if there's an accusative object, a subject, you should be able to use. If it has to be a dative, era, you should be able to use it correctly. Okay, so I beg you, practice German. Okay, so you can just call the group 8599910. Just call whoever picks up. You practice. If no one picks up, you just do your thing on your own. You just end the call. But then if someone picks up, then you practice with the person. Charlie, they two nurses Wakweba Ellie and then a new one and I'm a man I connected her to an agency. They sent her the contract today. She had a B1, but initially she was using an agency here. So like the agency, they were delaying her. So I gave her an agency yesterday. They've drafted they drafted her the contract and everything today. So she will sign it and forward it to them. Then probably Monday they'll start processing it. So Charlie, German, okay, just work on it, then we'll continue, okay?
Okay, Charlie.
All right. Das war's für heute. Wir treffen uns wieder morgen. Okay, tschüss.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, I'm okay with you.
But you mean